As you can see here, we have two gimbals. On my left is the DJI RS3 and on my right is the Cinepeer Weebill 3E. Throughout this video, let's stick with calling the Cinepeer Weebill 3E the 3E. Okay? Anyways, I bought the RS3 with my own money, and that's after selling my Crane 2S. Yes, I had the Crane 2S from Zhiyun for a long time. It did what I wanted it to do. I even went as far as getting Zhiyun's follow focus motor to be able to control my manual cine lens. Now, the one major reason I decided to sell the Crane 2S was because I wanted portability. Instead of having to carry the large foam case around, everyone would know you had a gimbal on you, and also because it was beginning to feel too large in my hand. I didn't like that. Now, before we get into the rest of the video, first of all, this video is not sponsored. Although Zhiyun did send me the 3E, you can check out my video review description below. Now for prices, the DJI RS3 will set you back about $600, while the 3E will set you back by $249. This is less than half the price of the RS3. But note, I bought the DJI RS3 as a combo kit. Now before we get to what's in the box, I actually got the RS3 combo kit, which is a bit more in terms of the cost. The RS3 combo kit came in a black case that we use to travel around with. The gimbal can be broken down to fit in your bag, and you also get a follow focus motor, a follow focus motor rod mount kit, a kit lens fastening strap, a lens fastening support, and a briefcase handle. In terms of accessories, I bought the combo package for the RS3, while Zhiyun sent only the gimbal itself, so I cannot really see how it feels when using a gimbal without their wrist support or sling grip. So you can check out our videos on YouTube about that, but since my RS3 came with a briefcase handle, as they call it, it feels easier to use, especially when you have it in the low angle mode. The RS3 combo package would also include the other things earlier mentioned in the box. Alternatively, I got this third-party handle grip that makes using the gimbal a lot easier. For the 3E, if you buy the combo package, you get a second-gen sling grip and a wrist rest. If not, you can just buy those as add-ons. In terms of the design, the 3E has a 0.9-inch screen that is not a touch screen. To navigate the functions of the settings of this gimbal, you need to use the buttons to navigate, while on the RS3, navigation is easier because it has a larger 1.8-inch OLED touchscreen. Although I prefer that the 3E has a little position to the left, which helps a tiny bit when operating the joystick. I wish it also was a touchscreen. Now in terms of quality, both the 3E and RS3 look very well made, with the RS3 adding the 3E just a tiny bit in terms of the material used for the body and even the buttons. But that's not to say that the 3E isn't well made, it still feels very premium. For portability, they are both portable gimbal. Zhiyun boasts that the 3E is the size of an A4 paper, which for the RS3, you can disconnect the battery grip from the gimbal, which reduces the size. In terms of payload and motors, both the RS3 and the 3E can take a payload of 3 kilograms or 6.6 pounds, and I had no issues using them to carry my heavy setup, which considers Sony a7 IV, Sigma MCI11 adapter, and the Sigma 1835mm f1.8 lens. But here again, I prefer using the 3E just because it's a little lighter overall. For their motors, both the RS3 and the 3E have a 360-degree continuous rotation on the pan axis, and the differences begin to show on their roll and tilt axis. For the RS3, the roll axis is minus 95 degrees to plus 240 degrees, tilt axis is minus 112 degrees to plus 214 degrees, while for the 3E, roll axis is minus 280 degrees to plus 60 degrees, and tilt axis is minus 130 degrees to plus 180 degrees. Yeah. Both these gimbals are easy to balance and use. There are also extra features to help you calibrate after manually balancing your payloads. But one extra feature about the RS3 does is also self-lock, which saves a bit of time with security gimbal when turning off. For me, it's an added advantage instead of having to manually lock the gimbals. In terms of safety of your payload, both these gimbals use Manfrotto style plates, but the difference is that the RS3 also features an Arca Swiss plate, so you can easily take your camera and put it back on without the need to rebalance your gimbal. Now for battery life, on paper the 3E is 16 hours, while the RS3 is 12 hours of continuous usage. Both gimbals support PD fast charge, while the RS3 takes about 2.5 hours to fully charge and 2 hours for the 3E. When using them, they both lasted my entire test, but one benefit of having swappable battery is that you can, take out your battery when your battery runs out, but that will set you back some extra costs. So for battery life, I'll give it to the 3E. I'm going to head outside with both these gimbals with the Sony a7 IV paired with the Sigma MC11 adapter and my Sigma 1835mm lens. This is a heavy setup. I'll also be walking and running with IBIS turned on and off so you can see. We're back. Well, you've seen the result. Let me know in the comment section which one you think is more stable. I will let you be the judge. I know I didn't talk about the extra transmission port, and the reason is that the 3E doesn't have as many transmission ports as on the RS3. The only port is the camera control port, but yet again, there are other things I did not dive into, like expandability. On the RS3, you can install a V-mount battery lock, which enables you to mount a mini V-mount battery underneath your payload to give you extra run time on your gimbal. But for the 3E, I'm not sure there's a possible way to connect or mount that. Another thing the RS3 has that the 3E doesn't is the active track, which you would have to buy extra accessories for. On the other hand, the 3E has more control and there is ability to customize the button functions more than the RS3 can. Lastly, even with the large difference in price, I would say that the 3E is a bang for buck, as at the end of the day, everything boils down to the weight each gimbal can manage, and you are paying more on the RS3 to carry the same amount of weight the 3E carries. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and liked it, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more of these videos, don't forget to subscribe. It's your Filmmaker. Peace.